The opening conversation was set to be the reaction to the first college football ranking of the season until Chase Young changed that yesterday morning. Ohio State announcing Friday that the star defensive end, who's really been the most dominant player in college football this campaign, is going to be held out of today's matchup with Maryland because of a potential undisclosed violation of NCAA rules. The university said in a release that he will not play, quote, due to a possible NCAA issue from 2018 that the Department of Athletics is looking into. Young went to Twitter and admitted that he accepted a loan from a family friend and is in the process of working with Ohio State and the NCAA to be able to play again. For the very latest on this story, we go live and bring in our Fox College Football insider, Bruce Feldman. And Bruce, I understand you have some new information on the investigation and also the timeline towards a resolution.
Yeah, good morning, Rob. So sources say that this all really started last December when Chase Young borrowed money from a family friend to pay for his girlfriend to fly out to the Rose Bowl. Now, I'm told Young repaid the money in April, and also that the family friend is not an agent or a booster. Now, from talking to a NCAA compliance expert this morning, he said a key issue is that there's an NCAA rule that specifically states a relationship between a student athlete and a person providing a loan needed to exist before that student athlete was actually getting recruited by the school he went to. Obviously, that doesn't line up with what Chase Young said in his statement on Friday. A couple other issues they're going to need to sort out is how much was the loan, how forthcoming was Chase Young in this process, and also what's the relationship with and the background of the man or the person he borrowed money from. From what I'm told, they expect this thing to be sorted out within a week or so. The key issues also are transparency with Chase Young, as well as how much documentation he and his attorney can provide, not only Ohio State compliance, but NCAA enforcement. Keep in mind, a lot of these cases are very unique, and so for people looking for parallels, it doesn't always match up with what the reality with what the NCAA is dealing with.
All right, Bruce, thank you, and we'll see you a bit later tonight on the Iowa State-Oklahoma broadcast here on Fox. So we're going to go from Norman, Oklahoma, now to Columbus, Ohio. There's Jenny Taft working the sidelines for today's Buckeye-Maryland game. And Jenny, you were able to spend some time with the team yesterday. What's their tone been like?
Well, Rob, we truly didn't know what to expect when we walked into the football facility yesterday and had a chance to catch up with the players and coaches. But I just want to say first, they were very open and honest about the situation. And what I thought was most telling was when we were sitting down for lunch, on every single TV screen behind us, the headline was flashing. At one point, Chase Young suspension. No players seemed to be fazed by it. And something to remember that these guys have now known for the week. So the news may have been big to us yesterday, but not to these players. Now, senior D-lineman B.B. Lander said that Chase was most upset about being a distraction to this team. He did address the team. He owned up to his mistakes and told everyone that he was going to do everything in his power to get back on the field as soon as possible. And another senior, Malik Harrison, said, this group, we're bound to face adversity at one point. We're facing it now, and it's how we play for Chase in his absence that will be most telling about this group. And Rob, I also want to point out that Chase Young will not be here today. He'll be watching this game with his family as he does everything in his power to get back and be available to play for the Buckeyes again soon.
Wow, interesting, Jenny, taking himself away from the team, trying not to be a distraction. Yes, the first real bit of adversity for Ohio State this season. Jenny, thank you. We'll hear from you in a bit with Coach Day, and let's talk to our coach right now. Urban, when did you first hear about this?
I first heard about it earlier this week, and the sound bites or the words that I keep hearing are transparency and honesty, and you would expect that out of Chase. Chase is, and I think one of the things he did, which I think the NCAA and I know Ohio State admires, is he owned it. It wasn't one of these things, I'm going to refuse to talk to people. He owned it. I made a mistake. Obviously, if you knew it was a mistake, that would have been a different story, but he made a mistake, he paid it back. So everything I'm hearing, he's doing everything he's supposed to do, working with Ohio State, working with the NCAA, and they're going to try to wrap that up as fast as they can.
As for today, though, how does this impact the team on the field?
Zero. Nothing today. What will happen is if it's extended time, obviously, you look down the schedule. First of all, Chase is a leader. Chase is the inspiration of that team. And we faced a much different situation, injury last year with Nick Bosa. But when you lose your war dog, he is a animal, this guy. Right. He's a guy that does well academically. He's a leader, does everything right. And to not have him down the stretch run, major impact. Next week, none.
Yeah, and I think also a big impact will be the Heisman race. And, he may or may not care about that, but I know this is something, especially after that performance a couple weeks ago against Wisconsin, he really has gained a lot of momentum in this race. And we know he's the best player. You talked about, Rob, he's the most dominant player in college football, but it's an uphill battle already for a defensive player to be considered. And now, however many games, we can speculate. So I think, that's the tough part about this. He's so good and he's such a great kid, and he plays so well on the field when he comes back. I'll tell you this, when he does come back at some point, watch out, because he's going to be one pissed off dude. And he's going to come with a vengeance.
Be angry.
Yeah, again, just a one-game suspension at this point. Plenty more still to come on this story. Urban's going to fill us in on Chase Young's replacement. How about a stud true freshman getting a great opportunity? Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, they're going to check in from the Horseshoe, talk about how this impacts the Buckeyes going forward.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.